Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna check in and see how we're doing in the 4th week of August. I cannot believe that we are already getting close to being in September. It is crazy to think that it's fall, officially fall time. So today we're gonna talk about August. If you guys haven't already checked out my September budget with me video and also my September sinking funds video, I definitely recommend checking those out. I did close out my August sinking funds, and I did that in the September sinking funds video so you guys could see my process. I thought that would be really helpful. I've never done that before, and honestly it's because it's a really long and tedious process, but I wanted you guys to see how I actually do it, so definitely check out those 2 videos if you haven't already. So I like to sit down before we get into the budget planner to let you guys know how things are going. And I try and be really real with you guys. I try to talk about the things that are going great, the things that are not going so great. And so let's just get into what we have to talk about for this week. So starting with some of the good things, we have been really good in all of August going grocery shopping on the weekends, usually on a Sunday, and making sure that we have a meal plan. We've been doing that for a while now, and it's been really working. I think it definitely makes a huge impact on our grocery budget and sticking to it. So I know you guys are gonna see in a little bit that we have very little money left over for August groceries. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I did not do what I normally do, which is budgeting per week. I usually would say, okay, I'm gonna give us $125 per Sunday because again, we go grocery shopping on Sundays. And so sometimes that may be 4 weeks during the month that we need a budget for groceries. And sometimes it may be 5. And so in this month, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna do a base 500 and see if we can challenge ourselves to make that work. Now, again, you're gonna see, we have very little left for the last week in August. So we're gonna have to get creative. We may be a little bit over budget, but that's okay. I'm still counting this as a win. Just the fact that we have been able to get back into the habit of going grocery shopping on the weekend, making a meal plan, sticking to it. And I'm just really proud that we've been able to do that. Now, some of the not so great stuff. Really the only thing that comes to mind is the fact that honestly my business has been a little bit slower this month. I'm definitely not making as much as I made in the prior month, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I was on vacation for an entire week and a half. So with my Etsy business, of course, orders come in throughout the month. I have a big part of my business which comes during the monthly release. But then of course I have, sales throughout the month. And taking a week and a half off makes a huge, huge impact on your income when you're self-employed. So my income is gonna be a lot lower this month. And that is why we try to keep our expenses as low as possible. That is why we always have a buffer in our account just in case we need, to dip into that. We also have a pretty sizable emergency fund, which we will not have to use in any situation, but it is nice to know that we are backed up in that case. So I'm hoping that September is better because again, I'll be working an entire month instead of taking off time. But it definitely is just something to keep in mind if you're gonna be self-employed, if you take vacations or for some reason your shop is closed for a certain period of time, that definitely could impact your income for that month and it could affect your goals. We have been working on paying off our car. We have one debt besides our mortgage, which is Jason's RAV4. And last month we began paying it off. We were able to pay off half of what it was, the balance was last month, and we were really hoping that we would be able to finish off the rest this month, and that's just not gonna happen. But we are going to put some towards it this month, which is also a really great success. Being able to pay anything off is good. That's in my mind, it's good that we're working towards something, but it's definitely not as much as we were hoping. So that is kind of a little overview of how this week and this month has been going. We're gonna go ahead and sit down now and look at the actual numbers, see how we're doing. And again, if you haven't checked out my budget video and my sinking fund video for September, definitely do that. And then next week sometime I will have like the rest of my budget schedule. So I'll set up my business budget, I'll set up my weekly check-in, my net worth, all of that fun stuff. But definitely keep an eye out for that. And let's go ahead and get into the weekly check-in. Okay guys, so like I said, we're gonna go ahead and check in for the 4th week of August. I, of course, did my last weekly check-in, which was after our vacation, so that's kind of why it looks a little goofy here. But let's go ahead and see how we're doing. I like to start with groceries because honestly, that's like the one thing that we need to track, I guess. That's like the one thing that really we have to pay attention to. So the way that I do this is I keep all of my expenses from like my normal budget, everything here, in my monthly view. And I like to do this because I like to see if there are patterns. One thing over the last couple of years that I've noticed is that our bills always seem to come due around the same time. The very last week of that month is when our electric, our gas, and our cable and internet bill come due. So that is one thing that I've noticed. I've also realized that if we buy groceries on the weekends, like you can see a lot of it's on like Sunday and Monday, we tend to do better that month because we are meal planning and getting groceries ahead of time rather than just taking random trips to the grocery store. So that's another pattern. That's one of the reasons why I love using the monthly view, is for that pattern. I also personally just really like the look of it, even though I know it looks a little bit crazy. I just like to see every single transaction. It makes it very easy when I'm reconciling my bank, my checking account, and also my Discover card, so I can see, okay, are all of my transactions truly my transactions? As always, the stickers that you guys see here are all from my Etsy shop. If you want to check it out, there is a link down below. I do have a Facebook group where I post a bunch of like new releases. People share their spreads, stuff like that. So definitely go join that if you're interested. And then I do have a an Instagram page as well. So in this monthly view, it might look a little bit crazy, but I swear everything has a reason. So here is my little key. This is made from a compliment card from Erin Condren, and then I just have one of the little clip-in, what are these called? Coil clips or something like that. So I just made that myself, and then I have all of my categories. So groceries are going to be in pink. So we're gonna have to look at groceries. I also make sure that as I'm doing my weekly check-ins, I do a little check mark on anything that's already been recorded in a weekly check-in. And the reason why I do that is because at the very end of the month, when I am checking to see what we actually spent for the month, I use my weekly check-in to make sure that I don't have to go back and add all of these up. So what I'll do is I'll just say, okay, for example, let's say that we're doing it right now. Groceries, we budgeted $500, and the last time that we spoke, we spent $386.60. So that means that we are $113.40 under. It makes this whole process super easy because now I don't have to go back and add up every single pink expense tracking sticker. Now I can just simply go to my weekly check-in and do that process, and it makes it so much easier. It takes the stress and the overwhelming feeling away from budgeting. So that is kind of my logistics. I've been trying to share a little bit more of why I do certain things for you guys, because I feel like for me it seems like it's just like common sense, but for other people who are just getting the hang of it, especially if you don't watch like all my videos, it might not make sense. So that is why I like to go into all of that detail. Okay, so in terms of groceries, the last time that we checked in for groceries looked like around here was our Costco trip. So the only couple things that we had since then were Aldi, Jewel, and then Caputo's today. So for groceries, we have $26.94, and like I said, I'll go ahead and check these off as we go. We had $49.93, and then Jason picked up some cheese, which was $4.48. Which brings our total to $81.35. So we'll go ahead and move this, 81.35. And then if I subtract that from our remaining last week, which was $113.40, that means that we have $32.05 remaining. So that is for an entire week of groceries. And honestly, I can tell you that we are very low on pouches. We buy pouches for both the girls. So Macy now is in preschool. She goes pretty early in the morning, so we make sure she has a pouch every morning just so that she's getting like fruits and vegetables. She usually has lunch at school, like the lunch provided by the school, and we've noticed there aren't a ton of fruits and vegetables, which is something that I think we're going to change. I think we're going to start bringing her lunch just because we want to make sure she's getting those things throughout the day. But regardless, we need pouches for sure. We're running pretty low on those. And then we have a whole week next week that we need to buy groceries for. So we may get creative. We may try and use some of the stuff that we have in our deep freezer. We may try and use some gift cards where we like eat out a little bit more next week. But regardless, we have $32.05 left, which is not very much for a family of four for an entire week. So that is something that we need to keep in mind. Okay, next is going to be eating out. And last time we checked in was right around here. So we have Dairy Queen of $2.79. Me and my friend Laura walked up to Dairy Queen. We also have McDonald's of $4.92. Uber Eats of $13.66. Dunkin' Donuts of $5.68. And then another McDonald's of $8.57, which brings us to a total of $35.62. Last time we spoke, we had $93.93, so if I subtract that out, that means that we have $58.31. So that is a pretty good amount considering the fact that really we only need that for this weekend, because I always count it based off of the weekend. We've been really good lately about making sure that we're eating at home more. And I know that you guys see the McDonald's a lot in this spread. A lot of that is just like grabbing breakfast on the way to places. So me and Jason dropped Macy off at school on Monday, so we just picked up breakfast on the way. Same thing with a lot of these other McDonald's. Like if we're on the way somewhere, we'll just pick something up really quick. It's not what I want to do. I would rather like have, you know, eggs and whatever else, but it has been kind of something that we've been doing this month. So something that we need to change for sure, but that is kind of why you see a little bit of that. Gas for our cars. We have not had any transactions since the last time that we spoke for that. So that's always something that's a good, it's kind of nice when you don't have any transactions for something. So $0, which means that we have $14.19 remaining. My car probably has about half a tank. I have no idea for Jason's car, but I think we should be good as long as we don't fill up on either car. Because if Jason's car gets filled up, we will definitely be a little over budget. Okay, so next is going to be households. And the last time that I talked to you guys, I said we would need dish soap or like laundry soap. We definitely will. I think we're gonna try and hold off until September to buy it though, because there's a deal at Costco for the laundry detergent that I like. It's like, I think it's Tide plus Downy, like it's a dual laundry soap. And so it's gonna be like $5 off, I believe. So I think we're gonna hold off. I do have some laundry soap that I can use. It's the girls' laundry soap. And I think going forward, I'm just gonna have one. I'm not gonna use the special Drift for Mila anymore, because she's honestly old enough at this point that she doesn't seem to have any issues with our laundry soap. So anyway, that is gonna be something that we're gonna do, but we did have one transaction. Our stroller cup holder got messed up when we were in Colorado. With flying and all of that, it got broken off. So we had to go and pick up another one of those, and that was $27.49. So that's coming out of our household, so $27.49. Last time we spoke, $27.49. Last time we spoke, we had $15.69, which means that we are $11.80 over budget for household. If it was my idea, I would have waited for the cup holder, but Jason literally takes a walk with Mila every day. He brings Mila to drop off Macy every day, so it's something that he really does use all the time, and so it just made sense to pick it up and be over budget in that category. So we can go ahead and mark that off. Okay, in terms of unbudgeted, the only other thing that we had was preschool. That was a $100 deposit, and I don't know exactly why that was required, but it was something that we paid for, and it's actually going to be netted with our tuition for September. So in my September budget, I actually didn't put any preschool tuition because I thought that it was going to be taken out in October. But then I got an email saying that it was going to be taken out in September. So now I had to like rearrange my thing, and let me even show you. I just whited out what I had. Luckily, I already had a spot for it, so I just put, you know, the tuition amount, and then I took that $100 balance out of there because that's what they did. It normally would have been like it would be over $1,000, like $1,038.87, but because we had that $100 that we paid in August, they subtracted that out. So it must have been like some type of prepayment or something like that. But regardless, I believe that's the only other thing that we had. So what I'm gonna do, just to make this easy on myself, is I'm going to take that $100, I'm gonna add it to the $131.53 that we were had for unbudgeted last week, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that here. So that is $231.53, just so that when I'm doing my results video and checking in to see what we actually spent for the month, I know that unbudgeted is $231.53 over budget because we budgeted nothing for it. I personally, again, I'm trying to make this easier for myself, easier for you guys. So I'm trying to like make sure that I have everything accounted for there. So I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, some of our bills came in. ComEd is higher than what we budgeted, but then luckily both our cable and internet and our gas are lower, so that'll kind of net out the fact that electric is a lot higher. So that is pretty much it for like our normal expenses. And then I did close out my sinking funds for August. So you can kind of see that again in my September sinking fund video if you're interested in seeing that. But like I said, so far this month, it's been crazy. We've had a lot of unexpected expenses, mostly just because of our trip, but then because of starting school for Macy and stuff. We honestly thought we'd have a little bit more time to get Macy into school. And I don't know why we thought that. We didn't think that it was gonna be like right when we got back from vacation, but the school that we decided on started, and so we wanted to make sure she was in it. So anyway, our budget's gonna look a lot different in September because we're gonna have that tuition again. And I'm not gonna lie, it was so nice not having to pay for preschool, but it's great. Macy has been loving it, so that's really all that matters. So anyway, that is the 4th weekly check-in for us. We'll see you guys again sometime next week to do a whole video on what we actually spent compared to our budget. I always love doing a results video for you guys. Let me know how you guys are doing so far this month. I always love to hear if you guys are working on a goal, if you're having a tough time. I know that it's not always super fun when you have stuff that's unexpected, and trust me, I get it, especially this month. I feel like this month is a month for me to just be humbled by everything because we've had such great months in the past year that this month definitely makes me think like, okay, even when months are hard, we have to stick with it. We have to keep working, we have to keep tracking, and I hope that that is something that you guys get from this as well. So anyway, thank you guys again so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below, and again, let me know how you guys are doing this month as well. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.